What you know, what do you think you know about them X's and O's, about them X's and O's? What you know, what do you think you know about them X's and O's, about them X's and O's? Honey, shout out.
So I am here today at City Hall with Jocelyn Kane. She is the Executive Director of the San Francisco Entertainment Commission. Jocelyn, I've been really excited to come here and meet with you as someone who is a female and got my start promoting parties here in San Francisco. I was really looking forward to coming to speak with you and getting to know more about what you do here.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Glad to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think a lot of people in San Francisco and even people in nightlife may not even know that the San Francisco Entertainment Commission exists. Can you tell us more about what you do?
Sure. I'm bummed that people don't know who we are by this time. We've been around since 2003, so I hope, and I'm sure that on the venue side, people actually do know who we are. Patrons may not know who we are, which is totally fine, because ultimately the Entertainment Commission is like it's a city agency that does regulation and permitting, right, and compliance work. So it's government work, and then once everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing in nightlife, the folks that own nightlife properties, then we can start to do more stuff related to policies that affect everybody, right, not just things that sort of affect venue owners.
Right. Yeah, it hit really close to home for me when the ghost ship fire happened, and a lot of people I know knew people there, and I think it really did put nightlife in San Francisco, nightlife especially in the Bay Area, under that spotlight. And there was a lot of scrutiny of the policies, and also a lot of scrutiny of the artists and the way that they were choosing to live and the types of events that they were trying to do. And so I can imagine that was a tough waters to navigate, and I'm sure something that has brought a lot into conversation now. Do you feel like with the reemergence of tech in such a full throttle way here now, and a lot of these changes happening with housing, and now this ghost ship fire happening, how do you see nightlife transitioning, and what are you guys doing to really, bring change or, implement good structures that will allow it to flourish?
So the first thing that we did when we realized, we certainly realized, obviously, the second tech boom is maybe longer than a bubble. It's
right,
sustained development, and then this need for housing, which was here regardless of whatever industry sort of made San Francisco more popular. We had been really poor at creating new housing in San Francisco, so the pipeline got full of plans for housing, and the policy folks in the mayor's office focused on, we need places for people to live. So then the impact, right, on nightlife could be a bunch of different things. And so obviously the big one that everyone thinks of is, well, if you put someone living right next door, which is how, right, the Entertainment Commission, like I said, got created. If you're next door to a mixed use, a nightlife use, so if someone's sleeping and someone's partying,
right, super
hard. So how do you not run into the same exact club wars that we had the last time?
So basically, you could spend a lot of time figuring out how to preserve the culture and integrity of entertainment and nightlife in San Francisco.
Yeah, so I hope that's the case. We certainly want to protect what we have, but I do want to also mention that we are trying to go even further back in the process, which is to say, once you preserve what you have, how do you then make sure there's even more coming, or that takes the place of the ones that just naturally go out of business? So things just run their course. How do we then go back into the planning process and do more than just protect, but when they build new spaces, how do we make those sort of front retails or basement floors used for hospitality uses? How do we make them attractive and reasonably priced? And how do we make sure there's enough liquor licenses in San Francisco that are available? And how do we make sure that there's a spread of entertainment in some of the neighborhoods that have none? And so that's part of what we're working on, and going back into the planning process to make sure that the city, what we call plans for fun, which is a weird concept in some way. We plan for the tech industry or the biotech industry, or we plan for our housing, or we plan schools for kids to live here, and we plan on playgrounds and open space because that's really important for people's health. But we don't plan for fun. There just happens to be a bar on that corner and there's like a natural way these things pop up, but frankly, it's not natural. You have to be careful of where you do it.
Right. There aren't as many women that are in the entertainment industry and obviously even in politics. So I'm wondering if you could just tell our audience a little bit about what that experience has been like for you, or if you just even have advice on sort of how to move through those waters.
Well, we do, for the first time in San Francisco, have a board of supervisors. I think there's a majority of women, which is good. But you're right, in terms of nightlife, for sure, it's been few and far between women who own nightclubs, women who own bars. Lately, we've had a bunch of people walk in, and they're women who own a new cocktail lounge, and I'm just so excited when I see that, because it is sort of a man's world in that regard. And I never really understood why. It really takes a tough person, woman or man, to run a nightlife business. It's hard. And as much as I understand about it, I would never own a venue ever. But I mean, it shouldn't be something you shouldn't try to do. The size of venues has changed over the years. So now there's like quite small places, which are like maybe somewhat easier to manage in some respects. It's this attitude more than it is like being a woman or a man. It's like being the right woman or man to sort of take something on and then sort of fuss through if somebody treats you badly because you're a woman. You can tell I'm like not a fading flower, so it doesn't really matter. Like if I have an idea, and I've always been this way, and I think it's a good idea, I'm gonna sort of advocate as hard as I can for it. And I've always said, forever, someone's eventually going to fire me for some cockamamie thing that I'm trying to do. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here with me today. And I just thoroughly enjoyed hearing your story, and look forward to hopefully being able to do this again soon.
Absolutely.